Welcome to Mosaic Arts Online. I'm Rachel Sager, and this is Color Cartography with Micro-Mosaic. In this course, I will introduce you to unique ways of working with filati, that tiniest of tessera. Using my custom-designed barnwood frame as your substrate, I will lead you through step-by-step many ways to create a dense, rich map of color. From cutting practices to the color schemes that bring a geologic map to life, to little-known tips and tricks that help make working with filati and Apoxie Sculpt fun and easy. I will share with you some of my secrets to map building. This course uses a wide selection of colors from the Micro-Mosaic filati library. I love this brand of filati, but any purchased filati or your own custom-pulled Micro-Mosaic are perfect for building this tiny map. I will be teaching this course using exclusively filati, but you can also create this map with any small tessera of your choice. Maps are interpretations, much like this one that represents the lower 48 states of America. Most often, they are practical images that help us understand places. But this map, although inspired by the geology of the Earth itself, will help you to become your own unique brand of imaginary mapmaker. Included in this course is a PDF with a list of the tools, materials, and resources, as well as a link to purchase your custom-made barnwood substrate. So let's make some maps.
Rachel, thank you for coming. I got to say it back to Mosaic Arts Online. You have brought a course here that is so special, and I know it's one of your passions, and we'll kind of talk about that now, but this is pretty phenomenal, bringing many of your passions together.
Thank you. As always, I'm thrilled to be back.
Yes, and one of your joys is really maps, but maps like that are vintage and maps of all over the world. So share a little bit about how these all merge together and why that big map is sitting here in the studio and all the way in from Pennsylvania.
It is a big map. Actually, it's from England.
Well, you
originally
brought it from Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yes, it's in England,
this
UK.
Is the first geologic map in the world, technically, like officially, by William Smith, and I've had it, rolled up in a closet for many years. When I first started to make maps in Mosaic, I went like deep diving and researched all the different like from the explorer age. I love like when we as humans were discovering the world and figuring out what was where, and the terra incognitas and the falling off the edge and the sea monsters and all that. And I did a lot of mosaic. I had a phase of maps in my mosaic life. And this map I just fell in love with from the beginning. A lot of it is because of the color.
Right.
You can see all of the little. I mean, it's a beautiful hand-drawn, hand-painted map by William Smith. And it's a piece of art in itself, for sure, even though it's also a very practical map, which is one of the things that I talk about in the course, is that a map can be practical, but it can absolutely also be beautiful.
Yes, and the inspiration of the color and some of the lines comes down into the work that you see here. But here we're working with the filati, and if you are a student of Rachel with Micro-Mosaic, or if you'd like to be, you can talk about why you chose filati for this project and how these are custom made by someone in your area that you then can ship to all these students.
Yeah, well, I've been working with filati for the last few years, another deep dive, and there's like a tapestry feeling to these maps when you make them with these tiniest of tesseras, a denseness, I think that's the right word for it, just this dense, rich color study, and I really like the idea of making something small.
Yes.
So that's why it's a 6x9 inch frame. It's very portable. You can make something like this literally at your kitchen table. You could travel. You could travel with. You could put it in the RV and get your filati and make this.
Yes.
So Yeah, it's a movable map.
That's awesome. And let's talk about the movable little piece of furniture that's going on here.
Yes. So they call these lazy Susans, but I don't like that. I just have never liked that term. So I renamed it. This is also custom made by the same woodworker who makes the maps, and we call it a filati go round, which is a little bit ridiculous, but it's actually a beautiful addition to my studio. It's very carefully made with rounded edges in these little containers. So when you want to pull your cut filati out, you doesn't get stuck in the corners. And then for this, you can put the threads, the sticks, and it's great practically for moving the colors around when you need them, and also for storing. You could even put tools on the top. It doesn't have to be filati. You could put smalty in. It's just a great. It's a great addition to any mosaic studio, for sure.
And you can contact Rachel at Sager Mosaics if you do want one. That's a little side note. But let's talk about the frame, because this is the lower 48. There may be other frames coming eventually. But let's talk about how this really can ensure someone's success in creating with it.
So that was the thing I was most excited about with how it was designed. It's just deep enough for filati, and it gives you walls.
Yes.
Walls and borders, which is one of the ways that you can be successful working with both Apoxie Sculpt and filati.
Yep.
When you don't have walls and borders, it's much more difficult to work with these two mediums, and so the walls. It just ensures your success is what it does. So no matter what you do with that map, it is going to look like a map of America.
Exactly. So you don't have to use filati. If you like to work in other kind of small materials, piqué assiette or smalty, that is totally doable. But this course really teaches you about how to create within this type of a substrate, how to work with the filati, how to make more even dividing lines within the 48 state map here. So I can't thank you enough. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
No, I'm really looking forward to seeing some new map makers out there.
I think there's a few. Thank you.
Everybody loves maps.
Everybody loves maps, especially when they look like beautiful art like this. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah.